Hello, everyone. This is Jay Takashi here, and today we're here to bring you our thoughts on Marvel's Black Panther: Wakanda Forever movie review spoiler segment. And this is a film that we were highly anticipated to see, and also before we start this actual segment, quote unquote review. Emily and Jed, I'm gonna send you the link right now because I actually want you to join in, brother. This is awesome because we can have all Black Panthers in here tonight. But I'm sending you the link, brother. But like I said, before we get started, I want to two people to shout out to right now. First of all, shout out to the King, Chadwick Boseman, T'Challa, aka like I said, King of Wakanda and everything. May he rest in peace, and may he shine brightly through people who loved him, who respected him, and all the hearts that he touched. And second of all, rest in peace, Kevin Conroy, the voice for the Batman, the animated series, and voice for other Batman animated films that he did. I just wanted to give a shout out to that. And
I heard about that.
Yeah, he passed away the other day, and I failed to mention that last night. And I do want to apologize for that, guys. I was very tired, but I want to show my respects to him right now. Thank you for making the Batman animated series, Kevin Conroy. Like I said, your voice will never be forgotten, and also I will continue to watch your series to the character you played.
You also got to make sure you shout out also in the video games that he voiced too for the Arkham Knight series and Arkham trilogy itself.
I pretty much said all the things that he animated. Well, I didn't say, but I'm saying like everything you ever animated. Your voice for the particular projects that you've done, and all your hard work. But all in all, guys, Jedi might come in before the intro, brother. I'll let you up, and you can join us for this segment, man. And we're going to be getting into some stuff. But all in all, guys, with that being said, you know how we do over here. We're going to get into the intro, and then we're going to get this party started tonight, y'all. Because, like I said, this is going to be, I imagine it's going to be a 2-hour stream to be on to talk about all this. We're going to have a regular segment where we don't spoil anything, which would be the first 30 or 40 minutes. And then after that, we'll get into the spoilers. Depending on how long it take us, it depends on how long it take us to get through everything. But we're gonna take our time with this shit. I don't want shit to get skipped tonight. All in all, let's get into the intro. And Jedi, I'm glad to have you here. Since you can help kick it off, brother. You shake your head. But all in all,
can I say something real quick too, though? Can I say something quick?
Go ahead, Marcus.
When I was a kid growing up watching the animated series to Batman Beyond, to when I watched the Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, just like I consider him one of my very few forms of an actual true Batman, as opposed to some of those shitty 90s movies we got. He was my Batman, and also for the voice of the video games too, because those video games were an integral part to Asylum, Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and Arkham Knight. It just, it was very, very grateful to be around when he was around. And the fact that you got to see him live action in a TV show playing as one of the So I remember the one line he said, "We are, I am the Knight, I am vengeance, I am Batman." So
yep.
Rest in peace to Kevin Conroy, man. 66 years old, gone but not forgotten. Earth lost a hell of a voice actor and a hell of a human being, but heaven gained a hell of an angel. So that's it.
Definitely. And with that being said, guys, we're going to get into our intro, and we'll get started. 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's go.
El Relo woman.
welcome, guys. So, Hajime let's get started. Okay, Jedi Mike, how are you doing, brother? You're muted. Oh,
I'm doing good, y'all. Can you hear me?
we can hear you quite well, brother.
Cool. Yeah, no, I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Yeah, working. Got 4 weeks left working on my senior project. And on film, I had this printed out. This is for my senior project. And I designed the
Oh,
movie
so
poster
beautiful,
for the
man.
film.
I want a
So,
shirt like that.
and I just got it framed. I'll probably make a shirt, but yeah, I got it framed and everything. So my project is due this coming week. So, but yeah. So,
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's coming along nice. It looks really, really nice, brother. I
thank you.
want everybody shout out my man Jedi. I might check out his channel, check out his streams. He does very great work out of there. Check out my man Wally What's Productions. He does very great. He does great streams. He does great advice. Also, he gives out good pointers on the system and how it fails, but also how you can bypass that shit and be better. Marcus. Now I don't know how I'm supposed to introduce him. I'll let him introduce himself because I was going to say some shit, but no.
Go ahead. Be ballsy.
Marcus the Troll, yo, ladies and gentlemen. but no. But all say this, that man, Marcus, great military veteran. Like I said, makes great points, really thinks things out, and makes everybody freaking laugh with his trollness. He's not as bad as Manfro though. He actually does get it.
I appreciate that.
Okay, so let's get it. So let's get into it. All right, guys. I love Jedi just shaking his head. I love this. But okay, guys. So let's get into what Marvel's Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. We've all seen the film, and first off, I want to start off with this. So, like I said, I'll do a quick synopsis for everybody who has not seen the film. So, we pick up. So this movie literally picks up after the events of Avengers, like I said, Avengers Endgame and everything, and we're actually dealing with the repercussions of Wakanda's vulnerability right now. Like it's in a state of vulnerability with the loss of the king T'Challa, and Wakanda right now is like everybody's just kind of pining for Wakanda's resources and things like that, and so you have T'Challa's mother, Queen Ramonda, literally stating that she's the queen of Wakanda right now, basically, and she's literally doing her best to keep the country afloat and keeping the outreach program that T'Challa set out to do, when he was still king at the end of Black Panther 1, to make sure that they're still flourishing and that they're not being robbed by quote unquote people from different governments or different countries more often than not, or in this case the government more often than not. And the film, and like I said, the film really touches on how the characters are dealing with his death, how they like quote unquote taking it, how it's affecting them, and quote unquote do they have the strength or resolve to deal with this new enemy that is literally under their depths, and that is Namor, who is the quote unquote villain of this movie. And the thing is, it's like I said, I was very hesitant to see how they were going to treat Namor. But Ryan Coogler, he surprised me with some of the stuff that he did with this film, and I would say I would say that the acting performances in this movie were really great. Like there were a lot of characters that shined through, but also even there was it was more of a story learning how to deal with grief, how to move forward, how to press on, and how to carry on the future in that sense. But like I said, I want everybody to get their thoughts out quickly Well, I'll say, oh, guys, I don't want you to get your thoughts out quickly. I want you all to get your thoughts out specifically. What you thought. But I would say that we're gonna go into acting performances after you give your spills, because we're gonna go into a case by case point more often than not. So since the guests are there, since I'm sorry, my two right hand man. Since the guest gets to go first, Jedi, what did you think of overall the themes that are in this movie? What did you think? How they were handled?
I thought I thought the film. Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, you sound perfect, brother.
Okay, cool.
You sound good, bro. You good?
Okay.
Better than Mark.
I thought the themes that they were handling in this film, I thought dealt with were very appropriate, and I thought also it challenged you as a viewer of your expectation of these certain characters. Um, and this is a film about grief, the different stages of grief, how people handle them differently, how grief can change you, how it can mature you. Um, Also, in terms of dynamic of understanding the difference between, you know, uh, the people that have came before you. Are you going to continue in their ways, knowing that I'm not like this other individual? I'm not like my brother. I'm not like, my mother too. You know, you're different. And then again, it's like, what that do to a character? What that do to yourself? I thought they did very well. Also, you've seen this perspective of two kingdoms who will have a foundation, like they're protecting each other. They're protecting their own people by any means necessary, even to a point that in the midst of that crossfire, can lead to internal war. But they're both just trying to protect their people. The ways, the means they might go about it, whatever that can be, the lines can be very blurred, but I thought they did very well what they were trying to do. And it came with Chadwick. I thought, again, people expectations, what they thought they were going to be bawling their eyes out. That's not what the story that he was trying to tell. But I felt what they did, they didn't beat you over the head with Chadwick's passing. Like, I felt they did it in a unique way. They didn't have no even long music or try to, give you like a flashback montage other than like the opening credits. That was, which we've seen that before, but it was good. But
Right.
like even just like having a scene with just pure silence, which was powerful, right? And I thought that was to me, I thought that was very powerful what they did. Like the first 10 minutes and the last 10 minutes of the movie, that was all they had to do, and I thought that was appropriate.
Right.
But even though you still felt his presence at the end of the film, you felt sense of absence. But I guess it just also, this is a movie about life. How when some things doesn't go your way, things happen unexpectedly. Things are not gonna go the way you expect them to be, and then we have to adapt to them. Even to the point that it might lead to our own demise. But that's what it is life. So I thought what they did, to me as a Marvel film, this was my uh, favorite Phase 4 film they have done since Endgame, prior to No Way Home. But I don't count No Way Home because it's Sony. But yeah,
Like a mix, some mix.
right. I mean, but even then, like since like in terms of Phase 4, this was the top, my opinion.
Okay, Wally, you get to go next. And you're muted, brother.
I know I'm muted.
His glasses, bro.
I'm muted.
I got you.
Oh, man. What can I honestly say? I mean, honestly, what can I honestly say about this movie? You know what? Look here. Right? I know you ain't gonna start this.
Now, mind you, I'm holding my words. I'm just respecting the platform. But go on.
Right.
You don't need to say nothing. You just look like that, bro. That's funny.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Oh my goodness. What can I honestly say about this? What can I honestly say? There was a lot of yes and no's for me. was a lot of yes and no's for me. But I will sit here and say, for the start of the movie, of course, sending off T'Challa was one of the more biggest, important parts of it. After that one, of course, seeing just seeing the path life form of how Neymar and his people came to be. That was another important part of the movie. But most important, because one of the more things that I've grown to see in this movie was just a lot of points that were a little bit interesting as far as things not being known of certain things and then others of just keeping things in the loop. But other than that, seeing how there was a correlation between Wakanda and then, of course, Neymar's people with the whole factor point of the vibranium, that was an interesting concept. Because you would think they would know where the vibranium is on all points, neither land or sea, but apparently that wasn't the case.
Yep.
That's most I'm going to say for right now. I'm going to leave the criticism for later.
Okay. My favorite, technically it's not fair because I have a brother Hispanic. But my favorite Hispanic military veteran brother. What do you think, Marcus?
Calican.
You should be saying it. I just want to hear him say it. Because his representation.
All right. I will say this: out of all the movies we gotten from this year of MCU Phase 4, this is probably the best one. So it was a disservice what we got before, and at least this is actually somewhat worth actually paying for a midnight premiere when it comes to the movies of MCU so far. It's actually worthy of it. At least if you want to go on a Sunday or Saturday, actually watch it and pay a full retail price of a movie ticket. It's actually worth it for the most part, I believe. But I still put No Way Home and Shang-Chi a bit above this. I will say that in my opinion. But it's still in the top 3 of the last 6 when it comes to the Phase 4 movies. Eternals, it's still like in the bottom 3, but it's still part of the top, in the top spot in the bottom 3. Eternals is for me. So, people need to understand, because some people are saying, hey, well, this didn't really connect that much or make sense to fit into the MCU continuity. Well, people need to understand that these are still considered standalone individual hero movies. So they don't always have to focus on the main quest of the Avengers or the big MCU. It's okay to have it to where it's just fitting into the narrative of the comic storyline of the Black Panther Panthology. So they got to stick to that so they can focus and talk about those things, their villains, their characters, and their issues they have to face. So what I would probably rate this maybe like a 7.5 or 8 out of 10 if I really would put it somewhere in that category. That's fair. I did miss, because you see a certain character pop up when she takes a certain ingredient, and it was cool, but it just made you miss a certain character more. And without getting into any specific spoilers of who it is, but you see certain. Yeah, I'm not saying any names.
Trust me, man. Like I said, with what we're going now, we're making good time, and also
yeah,
I'm in your point too right now.
Yeah, and then I just think that I'm not gonna criticize it completely. I'm gonna put what I like in it. What I did like was the fact that they brought and showed more mutants in a way without saying names, but obviously like the antagonist of the movie, and he was technically considered the first mutant in Marvel Universe. And I like his stance because his stance, when I look at it, it's kind of like Magneto with his people. And I thought that's pretty cool because it kind of shows like, man, hopefully we do get to see X-Men and Avengers or, team up soon, maybe a versus. But the characters were good. The assistant characters were actually pretty cool for the most part. And yeah, that's about it so far. I'm going to keep it simple.
All right. Okay. All right, guys. So we got like your, I guess like an initial thoughts with this. Okay, so we're gonna get into characters, and then after we get into the characters, guys, we're gonna talk about, and then we're gonna get right into spoilers afterwards. Like I said, I think we can knock this out. But I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna go over a quick review of the characters that I believe had one of the best performances ever. So off rip is gonna go in this order. Angela Bassett. She had one of the most powerful, just touching performances. Like she stood her ground like a queen. She commanded authority. She commanded respect and power. And like I said, the way she handled herself, and like I said, so I'll say this, a little brief thing to say. All the actors literally said they channeled Chadwick's hand on their back, literally, when trying to give out these performances. She showed it. There was never a time when she was on screen that it seemed like she was trying to force emotion, whatever. No. She generally wore that emotion with pride and a panther. So let's just get it right through there. And also, like, you know, her dealing with the concert. Okay, her dealing with the after effects of T'Challa's death and everything. She handled it more maturely. It still affected her, but she handled it in a more mature way because of course, she's older than Shuri and everything. That's her mom. And like I said, how she was just able to have that presence on literally in any scene that she was in. Really, like, she should be nominated for an Oscar award. Literally, she should be. And I haven't seen many reviews or anything like that. I haven't watched any. I'm just going off of mine, what I think. If anybody else said what I said, hey man, make a poll and vote. But yeah, I think she was the quote unquote soul of the movie. If you want to be really real, she was the soul of the movie. And I want to get into the character specifically. I love Winston Duke as my man in Baku. And this could be debated or not, whether he had the same amount of time as he did in the first Black Panther film, or he had more here. But the thing is, or the same amount. But I will not agree that he had less. He had a lot more time on this than he did on the first one. I think he did a lot more. And you know how, like I said, Winston Duke just kills it. Like anytime he is in Baku on scene, he's just this big muscle-bound presence. And also, there's a particular scene when he comes walking in with a carrot. My theater lost it. It was just funny. It's just funny. He's like subtle. You know what he is? He is very subtle funny with his antics. Like I love Winston Duke. I want to see him, and I'm gonna have to see other movies he's been in because I want to know what else he's played. Because
he was in Us.
He was in Us.
He was the husband with Lupita Nyong'o. They were playing Caribbean Family. He was the father.
Oh, okay. I gotta watch Us. I never watched Us. I mean, like I said, I watched Get Out, but I never watched Us. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna give that one a watch. Thanks to him. Now that's something else for me to watch now. Yeah, but like I think he had the especially with you know, what he ends up attaining later. Let's just say I was smiling when I wanted that to happen for the longest of times. Yeah, because he was the only one I would see right after, you know, after a certain character. But let's get into the nitty gritty. Let's talk about my man Namor before I get to Shuri, because I think Shuri's next. Because I think his performance is a little stronger than hers. But trust me, I'm not gonna share my girl Letitia, right? So she's next right after this. Whew. Guys, it's so hard to pronounce his name, but the actor that played Namor, I bought it. I bought his acting. I wasn't, and listen, like I said, he's a fish out of water here. So this is a new actor that got introduced literally into the actual film, and how he was able to command that I am Namor, like really show his presence based on tribal Mayan tribal ways of upbringing and culture and influence. The way he just commanded authority amongst his people, and also let me just say this: Namor's a fucking badass. He's a badass. Now there's controversy with some people that think that you got the Namor from the books. And yes, and I'm like, yes, this isn't the same Namor you grew up reading. And of course, I know what actual Namor looks like. But this take on him, he has some characteristics of Namor, of some of the original pathos of the character. But Ryan Coogler took a spin on it and made him more tribal, I would say more in flux with the actual world that he was surrounded by, and also what he stood for by his people, and what he was willing to do for his people to survive, and literally be that quote unquote god to them. Like, his performance was amazing, and like I said, we won't spoil action scenes, but the action scenes he was in, I'm sorry, like, bro, that was Namor out of the books. That's one aspect of him that was done right. That I thought that Ryan Coogler kept. The badassery that he has. That he's a brawler, that he does all these type of things, and that he doesn't care who you are. He will fight. And I think that, honestly, just, I'm happy he's here. I'm happy that we got Namor. Because Namor's been one of my favorite characters to wait for a while. And I'm glad he's here. So there are other characters we'll get into, but I think we'll do it during more in the spoiler section. But let me talk about my girl. So you know who she is. The girl I have a crush on. Like I said, the woman that was good in the first Black Panther film. The one that's carrying on the legacy. Our girl Shuri, aka Letitia Wright. Letitia Wright had a really emotional performance. I think that she was able to literally draw on being like the actual little sister of T'Challa, and also really showed the stages of grief more than anybody. Like, I think her acting was literally made to be the point where, like, how do I deal with this? And it's like, you know, like I said, because she goes through all the stages of grief in this whole movie. And I did buy. I think there's one section where it looks a little dry, but she picks it back up. Like, the very beginning, she's like, I can't spoil it yet, but there's a certain part in the beginning of a movie where, like, she really commands the sadness that she misses her brother, and that she kind of blames quote unquote blames herself for certain things that work out, because, you know, she's been gifted with so much knowledge. How could she not stop her brother from going? And I think she did a really good job of like displaying that she can give us some pathos and grief, sadness, and what it takes to really carry that and move forward with it, as opposed to just, you know, her just being a character that just stays in it for a while, because she has so much. I mean, she sure went through so much hurt, so much pain through this movie. It's amazing. It's like I said. Let's just say this. It's amazing that she's still here. And I felt, like I said, there were points in the movie where I felt sad for her, but also there were some points where also I was like, yo, sweetheart, you were killing it right now. I like it, but at the same time, like I said, I want her to find peace. Let's just leave it at that. Because, like I said, whenever a character is going through something so grueling as like, you know, losing a loved one, it's hard to know how they'll deal with it, or you're curious to see how they will deal with it. Because some people deal with it in different ways, but I think she commanded that. Like, she actually showed that, you know, her anger, hate, grief were all justified in some regards, but like I said, she didn't know how to handle them. Like, she handled it by ignoring it at some points. But there was a part of her that was still, like, you know, T'Challa's little sister, but also there's another part of her that grew up from being T'Challa's little sister to being the person we all know that she can be. All in all, I think everyone's performance in this movie, how the aka the Talokans were done, you know, the Atlanteans, they were done very well. Of course, Wakanda's always was great, so I have nothing more to say about that until we get our spoiler segment. But for the time being, The performances were done very well. No one. I don't think anyone was slacking on anything. For the most part. But like I said, when we go into spoilers, we can talk about things we like and things we disliked. But for now, the performances hit so far. Nobody was like a D, so I'll just say that. Jedi, you have the floor.
Are we in spoiler territory?
If you want to talk about characters, I mean, like I said, if you want to, you're welcome to. Like I said, we can get to the spoiler segment right now.
Okay, so we're in spoiler territory?
We're in spoiler territory now, y'all.
Okay. Number 1. Recast T'Challa. Shut the fuck up. They did. T'Challa exists in the MCU. One way, shape, form, fashion, he exists. And now we just need to put him through the that quantum realm van, the Endgame, age his black ass up, and then we good for Secret Wars. But anyway, no.
Yeah, hope it's not lost.
I thought that whole scene, everything, I thought that made perfect sense. And obviously Lily was the hidden gem in the movie because he was right there in front of our faces. So yeah, I thought that way. So the whole point of I thought the beginning of this film, how it started out, was great, and started in panic. Like she's in her lab, and before any Marvel credits, before anything like that, before the funeral, she's in the lab just trying to save him, but we don't have the heart-shaped herb because Killmonger burned it all. So now she's like trying to figure out and trying to create this artificial one and everything, and it's literally to the last beating second, right? And I thought that was very powerful. And also kind of question the whole thing between faith and I get that term of having faith and believing in science, because Shuri, even though she grew up in this culture, she's like, no, I don't really believe in the astral plane. I believe in technology and stuff, but everyone else is believing about spirituals and rituals and everything. So it's kind of like that dilemma of like having true faith and rely on your own understanding. Not any Bible references for you, but yeah, it was very apparent in there. Again, I think the biggest con for this movie for me was that all the MCU world building stuff they literally could have taken out. Martin Freeman should never have been in this movie. Not because he's white, because the story literally had nothing to do. The Valentina woman had nothing to do other than to say, "Oh yeah, I've seen you before." It's nothing.
I actually do agree with you on that.
You can take that whole shit, you can shave about 20-30 minutes of this movie just of all that Martin Freeman storyline alone.
Yeah.
But yeah, take that out. Going into talking about with Namor, I think the fact that this is probably the first time that a movie have invented a character's origin and actually made it better than the comic book origin. Because think about it, Atlantis has been copy paste for over film millennia. Little Mermaid, Aquaman, H2O.
H2O. Do you remember that? Remember H2O? I can't believe you watched that.
Come on.
I did too.
Exactly, I know you did. So
yeah, I did. I was like, yo, H2O. Wow.
Yeah, come on. But wow. Yeah, but the fact
old.
yeah. But the fact that they did that, they made it better because it gave him actual character. Like even his name, Namor, Amor, love. Not saying a man without love, no more. I'm like, that made sense.
Yeah, it did.
Made sense. I was like, that was interesting. He's centuries old, from the Mesoamerican culture, Aztec culture, and everything. And seeing he's referred to him as a mutant, but now there's also questions debating of if vibranium is linked to basically creating mutation in the MCU. We don't know. But I thought that the fact that their storylines are kind of linked in terms
intersected,
of
yeah.
In some way, shape, form is different from the heart-shaped herb, but in some form it just kind of changed their whole race of people
Yeah, we don't know exactly what it is particularly, but because I don't think it was a her specifically, but it was like underwater reef or something that it hit, and then they just
because also you have to understand they have also have a god that's in contact to that as well.
He's an avatar of a god,
whatever.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, Namor was best. This was Namor's movie, which that's why I also think kind of goes to a con because of the title. Wakanda Forever. It should be changed to Wakanda Taking L's. Like seriously. They were getting their ass handed to them in this movie.
Dude,
I have more warriors than you have grass, bitch. He said
Yo, Jedi. The minute he can go underneath their barrier, I'm like, y'all fucked.
And I was like, and then he was singing the song, the mermaid song. I'm like, there's actually in some mythology to that too.
It was like Siren. It's based off Sirens.
Yeah, the Sirens, because Pirates of the Caribbean did that shit with mermaids and stuff like that. They lower them in and all. But I thought that was cool because it's like, again, best introduction of a character in the MCU, at least what you say, villain, anti-hero, whatever.
When he first appeared in the helicopter.
Like into a horror film, and he's in the lightning, in the sky. You see the lightning.
He's just like swinging the freaking. I'm like, okay, dude, his strength is. That's crazy.
Yeah, because
when they threw him into the water.
Right. What they said was that in land he's strong as Thor, but in the water he's strong as the Hulk. So it's like that's what.
Yeah, that's actually in the books.
So that makes sense. But
he's not really. He's not on Spider-Man's class. He's above that class.
Yeah, no. So like, I thought that was the way they did that was good. But even like to when they were singing the songs in African, when they're in Wakanda, they were jumping off the water. I was like, oh no, like no, not it again. Like no.
I was like, bro.
I was like, yo.
I worked on them specifically, but I'm like, I guess I works on anybody who still have earplugs, because like shout out to Angela Bassett, because she said she knew like, yo, have your ears, She had like her things in her ears and stuff like that, and so did Riri. And also guys, there is a character that I do want to talk about. The introduction of that I think is better than her comic book accuratation. Riri
Williams.
Dominique Thorne, that's her name. I think she did a really good job of giving us a different take on this character. And also, I love her introduction, because the whole Shuri deny Gurira moment where Okoye and shit. Like I'm sorry, I love Okoye because she's so funny.
That whole scene that they did with her, because this is what thing. Also, the cons I saw some people was like, oh, I didn't like Riri. She's like felt that way. Literally, yes, could you have taken that character out the film and put a different character in, like whatever? Yes, because she was a plot device, absolutely. But I thought her personality when I saw her, I was like, and when I was in the theater, I'm like, I feel her. Like
I'm on board, yeah.
It's weird to say this, that I prefer her. Like, she's playing that America Chavez role, but I like her better than America Chavez for some reason. I mean, it's just
America Chavez just exists. That's what that
right, because like I'm just saying, it's basically the same plot device that America Chavez had in Doctor Strange.
No, but the difference is she doesn't save the day, though. That's the difference.
Right. But my point is saying that as a character to be like, oh, I'm gonna see you later, like because she's getting her own show. I actually just like what I've seen from her currently. Like, she didn't seem annoying to me, and if some people are like, oh, she just uses being the character to give one-liners. I'm like, if anything, she's filling in the Shuri role that she played in the first Black Panther.
WBR. Yeah.
So it's like she's filling the role that Shuri had in the first Black Panther. So it's like when I saw her, this I'm like, that's basically what Shuri did. Calling colonizer, saying, "What are those?" All that stuff. Like it's the same thing, but she was annoying to me.
I actually liked her, dude. By the way, her final suit, I'm so glad it looks something like an Iron Man suit. It just looked like, damn, okay. I love that you're straying away from that. Thank you, because the reason why she's not liked in the books, she's a Iron Man knockoff.
Right, but
really
even then you look at it, it's a heart. Like her suit, it looked like a heart. And I was like, okay, that makes sense. But
yeah, and I did like that. Like it looked really good, and I'm glad she was there to actually help. Because let's be real, they need to help regardless. They did need help.
Right. So whatever her series is, I know it's a small introduction, but I'm not underwhelmed with her. I'm not like, oh, here I gotta see her again. I'm like, okay, I'm intrigued, but I'm not like saying, oh, I can't wait for the Ironheart series. I'm just like, all right, I will be watching. There are seeds talking about her stepfather with the car and everything like that. So we're gonna get all that in the series.
But
Yeah, we're gonna get more on that. Like I said, that's gonna be more soon. But it was a good introduction to the character, and I kind of like how Marvel, and that's why I said with this film, I think that it felt more like the Marvel Cinematic Universe we're used to, like with Black, like like the Phase 3 and everything. It actually felt like one of those for me, anyway. Like I got that feeling again, and I'm like, damn, I feel good right now. Like this feels really good. And okay, so let's before we get back to Namor, I want to let
Wally.
Marcus or Wally get to speak, but y'all two arguing and debating about what. But I'm gonna let Wally go because I know Marcus wants to go last because he gets to talk. Wally, do you want to go or not, or do I pass it to Marcus? Mark,
You got notes? You got notes.
Does he have notes?
I said, hold on, mother lover. You don't see my finger? I was like,
no, I don't see it. I don't see it.
You got glasses, but you don't see. He's sick son of a bitch.
Hey, man, these are good glasses.
They're good glasses, all right.
Non-crash resistant.
So, with that said, how do I feel about this shit? Neymar. The best looking Neymar you can possibly get. Other than some few futures as far as like the no pierce and the earrings and all that. Still, the best looking version of him as you can get. I was so ecstatic when he was able to fly. Like the moment I saw the shadow of him able to fly and jack them up, I was like, "Oh, that is so hilarious."
He was basically dancing on the air or jumping on the air, bro. I was like, "Yo, bro."
Oh, that's So yeah, that was a beautiful. That was like a nice one for me. If I had to rate his image versus the comic books, I give him a nice 7.5. At best as possible. I mean, he didn't have almost all the features of him, but who knows? Time will tell it down the line of his future self. Looking at the family, I find it interesting, right? When Shuri was making this quote unquote water suit, this water battle suit, because we didn't know what she was gonna do with that and what was the prelims of it. But now we see what it all end up being because of the suit or how it plays part, which, hey, very, very good part. Also, what other thing? If I had to really speak on anything else, I love the adaptation of of Neymar's people because, surprisingly enough, as much damage they have taken when the female general had laced on their asses. Yeah. I'm surprised that they were able to still get the freak back up. Like that right there, that showed me some high quality as ish right there. Because that's like saying that's basically like an army that can't freaking die.
Yeah.
that's problematic.
I ain't gonna lie, because Okoye is the best warrior in Wakanda. Like physically, yes, she is.
Right.
And I'm like, what? She took out 3 of them cats. Don't forget, it was 3 against 1 before the big dude popped out.
When she was fighting that general, she having a tough time, but
and then she was having because he's physically stronger than her.
Well, yeah. Well,
actually, they all are physically stronger, but his build, I was like, this is not gonna be a cakewalk like the other 3 straight.
Right, but as always, she always performs well, so I always give her props.
Yeah, her performance, by the way, I don't want to sleep on that girl's performance. Her performance still hits to this day like the first one for me.
Another major part in this that I have to sit here and say that was very interesting, right? Because I know Jedi, he prelude to the whole fact that, we'll be getting our Black Panther back. He'll just be aged up and all that extra stuff,
Give him time, though.
And all that. Because if you notice, right, when they send T'Challa off, notice we don't know where T'Challa ends up going. They just portal up his damn coffin and then the ship goes. Where did the ship go? We don't freaking know.
Most likely, his father probably got the same thing done to him and also I do want to speak on this. I think how they handled that ceremony for T'Challa's passing. I thought that was very well animated when they were dancing and stuff like that. I actually thought that was going to be more camera slow like Matrix roll, like whenever they were slowly dancing. I thought that was going to be slow to represent like we're this isn't like a great moment or anything. This is just we're showing respect for the king, and I want to give you a slow motion about these people. How they feel about the king passing away. But I love how they were all dressed in white, which I had to use that for the thumbnail. And I don't know if Jedi likes the thumbnail particularly, but I put Namor on one side and I put Shuri on the white because I still think that is the best image. Like I think the costume pieces in this movie are amazing. They look really, really good. I'm talking about not just Namor. I'm talking about what Shuri had on at the funeral. Also, not her outfits. The hair, all that.
The outfits, like even the
Dora
Milaje.
Dude, you realize her hair looked like Killmonger's, right? Oh, by the way, okay, massive spoiler because we're in spoilers.
Oh my goodness, is it my turn or is it yours?
No. Yeah, because like this is just me and Wally got to be on this one. Okay, listen.
Okay, Wally, go ahead, Wally and Jedi.
I know. I'm thinking about a mirror in my black ass. You know what?
So.
Whatever. With that said, other than that, another major part in this that I have to sit here and say that was a very interesting prelude to the whole thing was being able to see the kids. That was an interesting part because, as we all know, there was no scenario of showing any sense of him having kids at all. Like literally, from the first one to the midst of the whole Avengers Warfare to then now, it really didn't show no significance.
I actually will.
You can say that, but
I
my
respectfully
thing
disagree.
From the fact that he had 3, there was no significance that much.
No. I'll say no because this is what I think. Because he went.
I think he just has that one son.
No, he had one son. Now look at the kid. He's about 6 years old, 5 or 6 years old, and then I'm looking at.
But after Endgame, that probably could have
makes perfect sense. Guess what happened? So. That means that kid probably had been born in Infinity War.
Because
he only has 1 kid or he has 3?
He has one.
Oh, okay, then that was my delusion. Because I'm thinking because the kids were with him, I thought there were 3 of them.
Oh no! She only brought one. No, she only.
Okay. I'm just making sure. I'm making sure because the way I see it and the way it was brought in, it was 3. So I had to make sure.
No.
Well, actually, now that I think about it, towards the end, it actually makes sense because only one of them came. So, okay, yeah, you're
right.
Okay,
so again, he was born before the attack on Wakanda with Thanos. Gone for 5 years, came back, and then he died that year.
Yup. There we go.
So that means, unfortunately,
I figured that out too. When I thought about it,
unfortunately, like for the kid. The child was only alive for his life for about maybe 2 years.
Yeah.
Out of 6.
Because he was desperate.
Even. Yeah, so that is sad.
It was probably a talk that it was probably because remember, at the end of the movie, it was stated like, did my mom know? Like, yes, she knew. That probably was the last bit of hope. The thing is, she was trying to allude to her Shuri's that our family line isn't gone.
Okay, so to that part though, right? So now that's clear for me, right? He only has 1. So okay, fair. So I need to go back and watch Endgame because I didn't even get a chance to even see that. But my thing was because one funny part is the mother knew, but Shuri didn't. That was the interesting part for me. Like, how the heck one person know, but you didn't? How that works?
I'm thinking. See, the thing is, I think the child either told her or Nakia like decided to tell her specifically.
No, no sense. That is just deleted.
I want to know why. No, I think I want to know. I think the reason is that it probably was a closely guarded secret the child wanted to keep. Remember, Nakia's like words in the end of the last credit. I still remember the words, bro. It's only been a day since I've seen it. Well, since I've seen it twice. I'm gonna go
said anything
again. And she told me that because we thought it'd be best for him not to deal with the pressures of the crown and whatever, in order to keep him away from that. So we have him raised over here with me, which made sense. The difference, no. What makes sense because probably when Queen Ramonda visited, she probably told her. Either she probably told her. Now she probably told her before Kella died, or told her where was she visited.
But Jay, I will say this though, Wally's like, okay, I understand not telling Okoye, I understand not telling Block.
You're not supposed to tell like outside family members.
Not telling folks of the crown, but you couldn't tell Shuri. But her thing, she was going to. But my thing was,
I think Ramonda was going to tell her.
But here's the thing. But the point was, but for how long were you not going to tell her? Other than like until she was completed, of her grief. All right, cool. But as a process, but I don't know. Maybe even recently I doesn't know because she visited him before T'Challa passed. So anyway, she knew for a minute. But anyway, I'm just saying. I understand.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Wally's point. Like, listen, if any way to help her with her grief, tell her you got a nephew. Like, and he still lives on. I understand where Wally's coming from on that, but thinking of that as just again family secrets and protecting the crown, all that stuff. I get it.
Because he's the next.
But out of all the people, you didn't have to tell Okoye, but you could have told the sister.
Okay.
Yeah. But
now the only part I will say, in fairness, I do see why though they did that, and the only thing is because for the sentimental value, only. Other than that, that is it. But I digress.
In real life, that would never happen.
Exactly.
No, but you already would have knew.
Yeah,
but this is the child, so he gonna be smart about this.
So
once again, still.
So this part right here. No.
Yeah, I know.
You
and Wally talk about
that?
Michael B. Jordan. I'm gonna say
that would be interesting.
With Michael B. Jordan, that was probably the most realist scene I've seen, like probably this whole year. And this is my thing. After grief and all that stuff like that, all the backlash. You remember, people, T'Challa or Chadwick Boseman got some flack for the first Black Panther. They're like, he's nerfed. Like, this ain't the same T'Challa from Civil War where he whooped people's asses. Why? Because he was trying to avenge his father, right? But this is like what Killmonger said. Listen, you and I are more alike than you realize, and it's like it made sense. And even then, it's like she said, listen, your mother defended that woman, from the Lost Tribe. Your father, he's a hypocrite. He would have killed her. Hell, he killed his own brother.
Yeah.
The child is just too noble. He let the man that killed his father live. So it's like, what's it gonna be? You're gonna be noble like your brother, or you're gonna take care of business like me? I was like, and then someone in the audience next to me is like, Killmonger's the real sneaker. I know, even after death.
The therapy after that shit. That was just one scene. Too.
I just love how y'all just taking these parts away from me. But yes, that was one of the best moments of the movie. It was the best moments of the whole movie because.
Did you like his outfit?
The outfit was good. I mean, regardless. I mean, I didn't expect him to have it though, but nonetheless. But it was just interesting because the funny thing about it was the moment she took the whole the ritual juice and literally transported herself to the other side of the realm. What was so interesting to me is I find it funny how she can blame him for what happened, yet he's not even the biggest part that let it happen. Like literally, like you're gonna blame him for the crap that happened to Wakanda and his brother and T'Challa and all that. My thing is, well, wait a minute. One, didn't he not fall? Didn't he not get dropped somewhere in the freaking waist of that liner? And you're gonna blame him for what happened in his passing? Really? You can't make this ish up. You can't really make this ish up. Blame the predecessor, but don't blame him from the right crap. Just blame him for whatever you want to feel him to blame for. That's his BS.
But here,
and hypocritical shit. But other than that, one, and then two, the fact that good and well you didn't believe in you didn't believe in the other realm and you still took the juice, and you think you're gonna see some family? Oh nah, that's not how that crap works. That's not.
Actually, it actually think of the hold on, Wally. In the first movie, remember, even T'Challa wanted to see his dad. Like, because remember, he said, like, think to your father.
And notice one thing, though, but
he's a
whoa. Let me deflate what the crap you just said right there. The problem is, though, T'Challa was noble, so of course he could have seen those. But Shuri, on the other end, she was thinking vengeance. She had blood, motherfucking in her veins. That's the reason why she saw Killmonger in the first place, motherfucker. That's the truth.
Okay, so I mean, now I'm gonna say this. You're right, but at the same time, she has the right to be mad. Dude, she lost her brother and her fucking mother.
And so I would say, goodbye.
Literally within like 2 to 3 days, they're gone.
My retort for Wally though, is this is like that point you saying
3 days.
No, in this,
saying 3 days.
No, Jay just said 2 people in 3 days. No. One person in 3 days, the other person
of Ramonda passing away, and from him making the for her making the new heart-shaped herb and all that stuff, it literally was about a couple of days. It wasn't a week. Because Namor said, "I'll come back in a week and bring my entire army."
Yeah, for one person in 3 days.
One week. That motherfucker did that the next day.
Yeah, right. No, right. So like all that. So, but it really was a couple of days because they were transporting.
Right, yeah, I get you. Yeah,
but it wasn't a week. It wasn't a week, but it really was recent.
Right.
But to what
we got a week and 2 hours and 41 minutes.
But to what Wally is talking about, that is what you said. Example is like, why are you blaming him? But that's the example of grief because you are putting blame on somebody who has no result of like what happened, but yet that's your target because it's easy. Again, it's like you have even with terms of grief. Like saying, oh, you might forget certain things. You might have a different recollection of how events occurred, or you might be in denial, or all this stuff like that, right? Those are things or stages of grief. We saw Wanda went through that in WandaVision. Like she was blaming other people for this, like, but you did this, or she was like, oh no, this is my brother. No, it's not. Yes, it is. Like, again, going back to that's those things about I felt with this movie felt that it was actually displaying of grief, even to a point when her choices were irrational. That made sense. So the point that you're making, right, didn't make any sense. But because again, that was an example of grief.
Agreed.
And I thought at that time,
out and you okay. So you aim it towards something, and then whatever's in your immediate vicinity, you blame all problems on, all actions towards, or whatever endeavors.
But the issue why I take that moment highly is because, God damn it, Marcus.
Because you're next. So don't be.
But the reason why I take that very hardly to the point of why I didn't even like that moment is because one, the point is they made freaking Killmonger, shook a little bit, like he was supposed to feel offended. No, he did no part in that. Like, no, he shouldn't feel any waiver of any lower downgrade or sympathy for it. It's like, you telling me this like I'm the one that put him in the freaking burial. Like, no.
But no. But like he burned. Okay, listen. He burned the heart-shaped herbs. So
no, I know what you're saying. No, I know that. But I'm saying
burn it all. Remember that?
But again, Wally, what you're saying makes sense because it does not make sense. What she was saying.
Right, but I'm not saying what she was saying didn't make no sense. I'm saying as far as what it led to, because when the way he looked and reacted, it was like, why would you even react that way? But I digress. It really doesn't matter. It's all part of the scenery. But with that, from that point that she ends up waking up, then she basically saying that ancestors fell her, which honestly, good and well, you fell yourself. Again, blaming other people, but yourself. The only one major part that I actually had to laugh about was the simple fact of right when she ends up throwing a freaking left hook, just a simple left punch, and then that freaking armor flew like it was nothing.
No. My reaction, no. It's what Remy said after. Like, have a sip of that shit.
For me to sit back there, for me to just see that just get punched, I'm like,
she did get the power.
You can't make this shit up.
What's wrong with that?
Wait, what's wrong with her?
No. What's wrong with it is she had no freaking fighting skills for the life of her.
Okay. Jedi.
See, this is my whole point. His reaction, my whole point. I didn't say, pause.
No. Here's why.
Oh my goodness. Is it my time or yours? Pause.
All right, Wally, goddamn it.
People have been hogging the mic too much. I haven't even gone yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna let you go. Hold on, Wally. I had to mute you for a second. Wally, I'm agreeing with you. So relax. I'm gonna mute you. I agree with you.
You came up, nigga.
Yeah, came back up.
Fuck you.
Came back up, brother. We want you on here. It's all black.
Marcus, you can go next.
It's all black love.
I'm gonna worry about my other requirement conversations.
No. But the thing is, I will say this because Marcus, you're gonna go. I'm gonna give you like as long as you need, okay? But let me say this, y'all. Me and my friend did discuss at the theater. I was like, It was amazing how she was fighting, but you know what came to my mind right off rip? When the hell did she learn hand-to-hand combat? She's not her brother. And this isn't the Shuri from the books who was bred to be a warrior. Now, I loved it. I liked it, but it wasn't consistent to what we've seen her do all this time. That's all. And I know Jen, I want to say something about that, but let me get Marcus to say something because I know he wants to speak. Marcus, I'm so sorry to keep you waiting. Talo Khan and Cuckoo Khan. Yeah. We want you to. How'd you feel about Namor? All in all,
see, this is why I wanted to go last. I know this shit would happen.
What?
Yeah, but don't read the whole Lord of the Rings book though. Goddamn.
Right. Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. No. It was an interesting. Okay, so here's the thing, right?
Come on.
This is what Marvel was trying to do with these movies. Ever since they introduced Spider-Man in Civil War, it's kind of like that concept they've been trying to do with the next young generation to come through. And the thing about Civil War, it made it so unique was because it was Tony Stark, it was the kid from Queens, and it was, Captain America in Brooklyn. So that was interesting in itself. And then you had, Shut up, are you okay?
Looks so pouty.
But, when it came to Riri Williams, I thought it was interesting. But could she have maybe gotten her own series instead? Sure, probably. Anything is better than the last She-Hulk, because that She-Hulk was an abomination. No pun intended. But it was dope to see the fact that, hey, T'Challa Sr. had T'Challa Jr., especially during Infinity War or pre-Infinity War, because, who knows? He may have gotten her knocked up after Civil War, before Infinity War, and before Black Panther. Who knows, right? And then she would have been, the kid would have been born then, maybe. But it is. Nod your head all you want, sir, Mr. Samuels Jr. I know. I see him right there with his turban.
And I'm laughing because of his reaction.
Yeah.
I want you to get
looking like a New York rapper who just got out of Rikers Island. Yeah, could there have been some things that they could have done better? Sure. Like the fact that the actual male logic was missing because of the fact that there's people that were strategizing, like in Infinity War and in the first Black Panther. Why would you fight the person that's their best ability in the ocean, close to the ocean, in the ocean? That made no sense. It's like, here, Abomination, we're going to give you more steroids. Fight the Hulk. Or here, Captain America, we'll make you, fight an even worse super soldier. Oh, Winter Soldier, But it is what it is. That was pretty dope, though, at the end of post-credits scenes. That was pretty dope to see the sun there. And Lupita Nyong'o, she was cool, too. And Shuri, was she cool, pretty cool in her suit? Yeah, it was pretty cool, but it still felt like it was missing that male presence. But then again, this was kind of like a grief, like Jedi said. It was kind of a grieving process of rehab in a way. And obviously, when we got to see, shout out to Don GQ and Hunter Watson, JBWR, who was never here.
I was never here. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Never here.
Yeah.
Love you,
Angela Bassett, though, rest in peace. I know they lost her. But, it was her time to go. She did her part. She starred in 2 Black Panther movies. And then as far as, what was the actress's name from Walking Dead, Michonne?
Denai Gurira.
Denai Guerra. Okoye. Yep. Denai Guerra, Okoye. She was cool, too. I always like her. I can never not get enough of her. She's actually one of my favorite actresses to watch. Especially ever since I saw her in Walking Dead with Michonne, the samurai and stuff.
Michonne, yeah.
Yep. And there was other people who were referenced. Atuma, I kind of thought maybe this was Atuma's opportunity to maybe somehow. I thought they were gonna maybe throw in a spin for him as a villain, to try to fight Namor. That would have been interesting because Atuma does rival Namor in the comics and in the video games in Ultimate Alliance and in the cartoons. But hold on, I got sirens in the background.
Yeah, trying to find this nigga.
I heard that. Yeah, but I'm gonna leave it at that though. I'm gonna leave it at that right now. I'm gonna hold back a little bit.
Are you sure? Oh, go ahead, Jedi. It's back
Go
to
ahead,
you.
Jedi.
Damn, I mean, I'm skipping me because I've talked a lot, so go ahead.
Because again, for one, I felt what Marcus Stinson he was saying was absolutely right. Because I saw the movie again this morning, and I was looking at it. I'm like, okay, that's a war tactic. They were trying to surprise them. The whole point was to trap Namor,
Right?
Trap him and into
That's
the
the
ship
point.
and draw him out, and into the heater ship, whatever, and track him to the desert, and then to take the Wakanda ship back to Wakanda. But what happened was they stayed there because Namora, she damaged the machine basically where they got marooned there, so they were stuck, right? But the whole point was to get Namor out, right? Because to them that's
shit.
You good?
Go ahead. You good,
To
bro?
them, to them that's their god, so it's like you take their god away, then it's like, yeah, then they'll be better. So as a military attack, they were trying to draw him out, just surprise them, whatever there. But in terms of Reed Williams, one, I understand you're MIT student, but you mean tell me you're making a fucking weapon that you're like, how did the American government steal your device, and without you knowing, and then my thing is, this is like, what's the point of killing her if they already made it?
Yeah.
Like that's my thing. It's like Thomas Edison is long gone, but I can make we making LEDs lights like a motherfucker now.
Exactly.
So I'm like, killing her wouldn't do nothing because they made another one. They'll make another one. So I'm just like,
the thing is, I think I would say this because Wakanda's so advanced and I'm sure he's so smart. She could just copy that shit and see how it works. She didn't need to copy it. She can just see how it works. Just make another one.
To you.
But yeah,
how you doing, Don Q?
Yeah, it would make no sense because they would make another one. That was my only thing logically wise. Like that plot, that story beat there, like they could put any character or just random scientist, whatever. They didn't have to make it Reed Williams, but that whatever. But to your point about Tuma, right? The lanterns, right? Exactly. I'm thinking that they're gonna make it seem like if he was the person, whatever. But whether they make that as a solo outing to have him, Tuma, be there, whatever. Or even in this film, disobey orders or something like that. I didn't see nothing of that. I saw sheer loyalty from him and Namora. That was right hand woman. That was right hand man. There was nothing where I was seeing him. If I didn't know him, that was him questioning his leadership. Other than at the end with Namora questioning him about why you kneel to the Wakandan. And Tuma's like, no, fuck this. There was no scene about that. But
exactly. My friend said the same thing you said. Like, I didn't see anything that would make her seem like she's gonna be a villain. Like, no, they listen to him. He's literally like a guy to them. Let's not forget this brother brought the sun to the freaking underwater.
Yeah, based off of vibranium, he's like,
yo, that's crazy. He said, I brought the sun to
vibranium. All right, cool. But again, now again, to a point of, again, this is why I had an issue. I was wondering if they would make a live stream about this, but I'm like, listen, I'm focusing on graduating, in less than a month, and I'm back, on channels and stuff like that.
Yeah, man, your issues here, brother. Go ahead.
But I had an issue with certain comments that some people made. I'm gonna say her name, Courtney Michelle. She made this video.
Thank you.
She made this video that actually got YouTube pulled it down and censored her because she was referring to Black Panther to the Woman King. I saw the Woman King. I am the movie guy, right? And I can tell you this is like, to Marcus's point, wokenism. I've not seen any of that other than one scene, maybe two. The scene with with the Midnight Angel woman and the new AO as a new general, kissing her, saying that, thank you, my beloved. We're like, okay, all right, lesbians, all right, cool, whatever. But it's in the comics. It's not like, it's in the comics, so whatever.
Shout out to girl and girl relationships.
But the other ones, I really, other than that, I'm trying to pick one, but like I didn't feel no type of feminism in this fucking movie.
That's in there. I mean, like, there's women empowerment, of course.
It wasn't not saying, "Oh, you a man, stand down," or all that stuff like that. I didn't see none of that. And anything, and she was talking about like that. Oh, Namor, and finally, this skinny woman is here fighting Namor and all that stuff. First of all, I'm telling you this, and we have vibranium that can give you ability of superhuman strength and all stuff. A comic book world where we have niggas, brown niggas with angel wings on their ankles and can fly like fucking Superman. I don't want to hear nothing what you say about how she can be able to fight a bigger man. She's Black Panther. Fucking deal with it. And then also we have not seen a one-on-one fight between Black Panther and Namor prior to Shuri fighting. So we don't know what his actual physical peak is against a Black Panther.
We don't know at all.
We don't know. So
he probably gets his own movie when they finally give him that. We'll actually know what he's capable of. Similar to the whole Aquaman introduction, and that's why Oh, and by the way, for the whole heater shit, I want to say this right now. That's a constant weakness of Aquaman's, not really so much Namor's. And the reason, and the thing is, what makes me okay? It makes sense here, but it makes me angry to this day because of the Aquaman movie. Where the fuck was that in that damn movie? These motherfuckers can jump in the desert. But Namor gets put in a heater, like probably more hotter than that, and that motherfucker dries up. I was like, James Wan, you gotta limit that motherfucker because that's not accurate. But Wally, I want you to get your takes out, brother. Go ahead. No one's gonna interrupt you. But they are allowed to.
Bleep
what the hell was that?
Bleep.
You alright?
Bleep. Now, Marcus. Now look, bro. You notice, right? You made all your comments. No one didn't press you. No one didn't press you. Oh,
my children.
Son of a gun.
You do know the reason why I didn't get any cut off is because I didn't long stroke it either.
It didn't matter if you did a long stroke or not. Hello. The only difference is how I'm going to long stroke it if I didn't even get to even fully.
I counted the timer.
You in the timers, goddamn.
Marcus, let him go. It's only
here. Let's give the oppressed victim his solo layout.
Yo, that is so wrong. I mean, that's the camaraderie. These two actually love each other. They're good, very good brothers.
Don GQ says that movie is all lies. It's a feminist movie.
Oh, Woman King? Oh, yeah, it is. All right.
Let's go, Wally. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, go.
Take me off this ish. Before I bust my fist through this motherfucking camera.
Bust your fist? That's kind of wild. Don't do that.
With this said, I may as well end it like this because personally,
don't end it. Give me your whole
silence.
I'm trying to help you, Wally. I want you to get your full take without interruption. Go ahead, man. Get everything you want to get out, and don't tell me it's your last point. I know you got more shit than that.
No, I'm gonna make it my last point. I didn't even bother to even get it in. Other than that, the one big part of Namor when they started get into the part of the war. The one funniest part is the moment he cracked the body armor of the guy, the one with the spear. I mean, but you know what I mean. The staff. The moment he cracked the armor. Oh my goodness! They slow moment showing how the armor was breaking off, and the next thing you know, he flew. That was so jacked up.
Yeah, that was funny, bro. I loved it. It was like, bro.
But I'll leave it right there.
You say you'll be right back?
No, I'm gonna leave it right there.
Oh, okay. Is there any other scenes that you like? Anything else?
I would, but I don't have time to explain right now. I'll explain later.
I mean, we got like 2 hours, bro. So.
Let us move this on because I don't want to waste people's time. Let's move to the next one.
Okay. Roll it back on to Marcus. Marcus, anything else? Like I said, we're getting everything out now. This is all spoilers. Anybody got to hold nothing back now.
Do I have anything to add on to it? Maybe like the small details, like I kind of wish instead of Ironheart Ironheart leaving the suit back there, I think I wish she would have took it as a gift, kind of like Stark, how he kind of gifted the suit to
Spider-Man.
To Spider-Man, yeah, to Tom Holland.
He specifically made that for him. I think that's what.
Yeah, I know, but if she's that smart, I think she knows what she can do with that suit.
The difference is she's not going to be able to
I know, but I think she should keep it as an original, because that way she knows if she wants to advance it later on after Tony, because it's supposed to compete with Tony Stark's suit, but have its own spin on it. Yeah, his own design. It's kind of like Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2099 in a way. How I look at it.
Oh yeah. So, the difference with him is that his suit is completely different and everything, and he doesn't have a spider sense.
Yeah. So other than that,
spider.
Yeah, and then like the fact that M'Baku becomes like the king, I thought was kind of cool, but at the same time, I'm just like, I don't know, like I'm
not angry at that. I think Shuri never wanted to be queen. That was
and even in the comics, when she takes the mantle of Black Panther, it's only limited because either Black Panther was in a coma or he was out doing other stuff with the Avengers.
Or he relinquished the powers at one point, and then he got became the king of the dead.
Yeah,
which, by the way, puts him above freaking regular Black Panther strength bullshit because it's ridiculous.
And there's some, and there was something else that people were also letting us know was that I don't know how true this is, but allegedly or supposedly they had taken out the post-credit scene to involve Doctor Doom in it.
I heard about that. And,
which I was not happy about, and I just think that Doctor Doom deserves its own build up because I think he's like,
they're probably gonna build him up because I can see that being the last movie for Black Panther.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
because
I hope so.
Let's be real, Wakanda is more made for movies to make wars with because they have so much technology and it's so hard to beat these guys. And I know that, and let's be real, they depowered Namor too. Even the depowered Namor was doing that shit the way he did to Wakanda. He didn't sink it, but he was vicious. He was a savage. I loved it when he needed to be, and also he protected these people. Also, I do love this scene where he's underwater. He has like the Mayan head, the Mayan freaking right over his head and shit and all that. I like that. That's nice.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure you like that outfit. You should cosplay that, Marcus.
That's too much. No, that's too much for me. I don't like. I just don't. I don't like the big crown. I'd rather have like the small crown, kind of like Thor in a way. You know.
That's not a crown. That's a
or a helmet.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, the Norse Viking thing. You know, I'd have that small thing.
I missed that shit. That shit was like in one movie, and they said "fuck that."
Yep. Pretty much.
I hate that personally, but
yeah, I do think it's gonna be interesting because they did have some Easter eggs and references in the movie, Jedi. Oh, we'll be back in 1 minute. Commercial break. No. Yeah, I mean, and then I just want to see more progress in the MCU universe as far as leading up to the next big Avengers movie, which is going to be in Ant-Man 3, Quantumania. That'll be a big one.
Like I said, the M movies aren't really all that good for me. Specifically, they're like solid. I mean, they're okay, but
the first one is definitely watchable.
I'm like, bro, what the hell are they gonna do to him? Nothing.
Well, the first one is definitely watchable. It's just that the first two was more kind of like you could take your family. Yeah, you could take your family and you can watch it, and it's not. It's actually the first one was good. The second one was.
The first one was good. That's fine. Because the only reason why I was good is because he fights freaking Falcon, which I love that they did that because that shit was hilarious.
Right, and I also liked his fight with Yellow Jacket too in that movie, and then Richard Douglas is in it.
Yeah.
And it gave a backstory to the Wasp and the original Ant-Man.
Yeah, and, they both were, Hank Pym and Janet McDowell.
Yep. And so and then the fact that the actress that plays the daughter, she's pretty too. I think she's cute.
Yeah, she's pretty. I'll give you that.
Yeah. And I don't
and all that, and they technically have their own little family right there.
I kind of don't like the fact that they changed the actress in Ant-Man 3, the daughter from the one that was in Endgame. I don't like that. I kind of wish they would have kept her. But other than that, I don't really know yet. I'm just still waiting to see what's next. I'm interested.
Yeah. Okay. So Marcus, what do you think of Namor's fighting? When he was going crazy.
Oh yeah, that fight especially
when he first invades. I mean, okay. First, let's talk about his introduction. What do you think of his introduction specifically? When his people came on that little rig, whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, of course, they had all the people just going down to their death and just just falling down and yeah.
I mean, if you want to make an entrance as a big bad pissed off mutant against the city dwellers, the land dwellers, that's a way to make a statement, you know.
I just love to swing that motherfucker like a gymnastics rope.
I liked when he fought M'Baku in them, and he just kind of had like a super strength to him, and just like nothing. He did it like nothing.
Bro, Wally brought that up too. Like he punched him like he was. I gotta go see the movie again for that, bro. That is just bam.
Yeah, and then the fact that Lupita Nyong'o's character, what's her character's name again?
Nakia.
Nakia. I did kind of like the fact that she actually went to go and kind of be on her own and be herself because
be a teacher, for kids and things like that.
Yeah, and
she said she sounded like what she wanted to be in the first film, so that's good.
Yeah, because she went to go do it, and plus the fact it makes sense after T'Challa's passing to get away from it and stuff and do her thing. So let me just block them.
I'm blocking.
I already got it. But
stay off my channel, whoever the hell you are.
Yeah, but you know, it's other than that, the future is yet to be shown. So I'm also waiting for Deadpool 3. So that's what I'm waiting for also.
Okay. And also, I'll say this, Marcus. One last thing. What do you think about Namor versus Shuri? Did you like that one? It looked really brutal.
Especially when they get stabbed and stuff, it's like
he really pierced her right through that. I was like, yo, bro.
No.
It's like if you get a hit on me, then I'm gonna stab you back. And I'm like, I love Namor. Yeah, eye for an eye.
Yeah.
Only one he didn't stab her in the heart, so that's why she didn't die. But she got that. She should heal from that. It'll take a minute, but she will heal.
The one thing that kind of like sometimes kind of laughed a little bit was the fact that the little wings on his feet. I know someone's gonna make a parody it.
She clawed one of them off and put it in her hand. But the thing is, she can curate those. Don't forget that. It's his
but you know what that reminded me of? Remember that movie? It's the one where they make fun of all the superhero movies. Is it the super? It's the superhero movie, right?
Yeah, that's the one with Drake Bell in it. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, the one with the guy tries to get little chicken wings for wings, That reminded me of that, of his feet. Reminded me of that guy's back when he had little chicken wings, in the back of his chest, in the back of his upper back. He tried to be like Archangel.
Yeah, that is his mutation. He actually has wings on his foot.
Yeah, but in that parody movie, it kind of just made me think of Namor a little bit, and Namor of that movie. But I do know originally in the comics that's how they designed him. That shit was kind of cool, but at least you got to see him fly though, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he did fly. And Wally, back to you, since Jedi is still busy. Wally. All right. Oh wait. He says I will be back. Okay. And Jedi's still doing something, but overall, like I said, I think it's a not an excellent film, but I think it's a great film and a great introduction to a character, and also that Shuri is the Black Panther. I do like that particularly. I love at the end when she finally decides to really say goodbye to her brother and her mom, and that's one of my favorite scenes personally. Her letting it all go and actually meeting Nakia and everything, she said she gave her that offer, and in a third part of the film when she says, you need a place to stay, not stay, you need a place to, come and, deal with the troubles. Come take me out. I'll be there. And I love that she did that at the very end. Where she rejected the crown and all that shit, nope. I'm not gonna be the ruler of Wakanda. I'll let M'Baku do that. And also, I wanna take a shot. First of all, let's give a round of applause to Winston Duke, man, and to T'Challa personally. And the reason why I said we should give a round of applause for T'Challa actually managed to get let's go back to the first Black Panther. He actually managed to get the Jabari on his side to the point where M'Baku literally is like a comrade of him in Infinity War, which means before Infinity War happened, he put in a lot of work to get the Jabari, to make things right with the Jabari. He did that shit. Otherwise, M'Baku would just be like, whatever, man, I'll do what I want to fight, all that. But he actually was somewhat of a counsel and a comfort to Shuri, because Shuri wasn't in her right mind. And we gotta also remember that M'Baku, he respected the tradition a lot. He was all about that. That was the execution of the character they wanted for him. Like, he's brolic, he's all he's all about his people's ways, but he respects tradition, and that's been his character. But also, he has evolved ever since T'Challa said, "I can't make up for past kings, but what I can do is make things right." Like I said, the Jabari are literally an ally of the freaking Black Panther family at this point. Not at this point, but in Infinity War, more often than not. It's by the end of Black Panther they are, the first film, and Infinity War they are, and all the way to
Infinity Whore.
Stop that. I said war, not whore. There's a difference. Besides, I don't do whores. The store, but all in all, y'all, I think, like I said, Namor's portrayal was one of the strongest I mean, Angela Bassett and Namor had like the greatest performances. Secondary was Winston Duke and Letitia Wright, and of course Okoye. I thought those performances were very well done. And also, I want to talk about this. How did you, Marcus, never really talked about it. How did you like Namor's people? How they looked and the designs? Did you like that?
I thought it was pretty cool, pretty interesting.
They had water bombs. You think about them shits? That was wild.
Oh yeah. I mean, I did like it because at least they kind of made it different as opposed to how Aquaman people look.
Yeah,
they had to make it look different, and I think that's where Atuma and his people, they kind of have a rivalry down below, especially in the comic lore. The Namor, the Submariner, he kind of has an issue with Atuma down when it comes to the comic origins and lore. And I know he tries to take Namor's crown and become the powerful Sea King and then have a war. Because I know that Atuma teams up with the Cabal and teams up with the Masters of Evil sometimes. So it'll be interesting though, because I did think the designs were dope and it was different, not trying to be copycat to Aquaman in the movie.
I mean, like, even if it's not like copycat to Aquaman, because technically he came out before Aquaman and
No, I'm just talking about like releasing in movie theater, where it's like when it comes to, because people.
If he gets his own movie, then I think they'll do it in a unique way. But the difference is, you're gonna have to get I would prefer a Hispanic director more often than not, like someone who's really talented that knows the culture and everything to do his movie. Because we're gonna have to, because like I said, we got Ryan Coogler for like Black Panther, and he's able to do that well. He did Namor really good. I'll give him that. Like his interpretation of what he thought was gonna work, and it worked. But the difference is, can someone director take what he did and then try to go off that story and give us something nice?
Yeah, and the thing is that. Yeah, and the thing is that people need to understand, like, I don't think everyone in the audience is updated with the comics or really watch the comics lore that goes to see these movies. Maybe like at least half the people don't, the other half do. And I think that's where sometimes people get the misconception that, hey, this is a feminist movie, which I kind of see what they're saying if they don't know the lore. Unfortunately, that's the Dora Milaje was always there. And when the creation of Black,
but it's not okay. First of all, I need to correct that shit. It's not a damn feminist movie. Like none of the Black Panthers are. It's women empowerment for like sisters, particularly those type of women right there. For sisters.
Yeah, and it's not even a sisterhood. It's just it's a Wakandan thing, like a tribe thing.
Exactly, it's a tribe thing. Like everybody was like, it's like we're one big tribe, and it's not like women overshadow the men or the men overshadow the women. No, it's like the male presence is there and the woman presence is there. So it's not like So I'm sorry. Whenever people slash labels onto that shit, they turn me off from their thing. Not because I don't want to hear it, but I just hear nonsense when you say that. It's like there's nothing it's nothing grounded in any type of basis when they say that. But other than that, I just ignore it.
I do think that if Chadwick was alive, I still would have liked to seen Shuri and Chadwick maybe team up like a female and male Black Panther.
Freaking
Yeah,
maybe like
to
Black
fight.
Panther
Yeah, like a tag team in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, bro, like I said, remember. By the way, if you guys knew or didn't know, originally Ryan Coogler already had the script down before Chadwick passing and everything like that. He already knew exactly what he was gonna do. But Namor was going to look like this, regardless. He was gonna look like this. So I really want to know what that actual script looked like for that one.
Yeah.
But
I really wish they would have kept the Doctor Doom post-credit scene there. That would have been dope.
If you would have, like, you should have at the very end post-credit scene, he says, like, there's this particular place you need to visit. What's the name of it?
Latveria.
Latveria or some shit like that. And, but
there's a man named Victor Von Doom.
Yeah. Or they could just mention him, I guess. You don't need to see.
And then it shows like a picture or a video of him.
Right. Because, like I say, because if we get introduced to Doom first, then they definitely have to do Fantastic Four right off the rip, off that shit. But yeah. All in all, I give the film 8.8. I'm gonna give it an 8.8. The performances were great. Action was great. I love the action, especially that car chase scene. There's another one. Like, yo, Riri did a really good job. Like, didn't we like her? Thank you. Better than her comic book adaptation. I love that more. Look forward to her series. Let me see. What else? Namor, the GOAT. Was it the GOAT? Angela Bassett, the GOAT. There we go. Too many goats. But yeah, just great performances all around. Great, good story. Not a great story, but a good story. That's all you need to be needed for it to be good, not average. Yeah, I think I give it 8.8. I don't know if I can give it or not yet. But yeah, it's getting that grade. Definitely one of the better installment of the MCU films as of late, and had a lot of heart, a lot of grit, and also people really put on their acting faces on this. I can't talk enough about the acting. It was just really good. If it was bad, then I wouldn't be talking about the way I'm talking about it. But they did a really great job. I have to go see it again. I definitely will. And like I said, I'm pretty sure I'll be concise on what I see. But all in all, guys, I think we Wally, are you back? Before I decide to end it, because I actually want to have a free for all talk now. Where with there, like you said, hope is not all lost for the Black Panther franchise, which I'm really grateful for. What do you want to see next for the third film?
Don't know what to see in the third film. They haven't really developed it.
You don't want to see a third film?
I said I don't know what I want to see in the third film because they haven't really shown any development towards the future. I mean, the only parts of the future was towards the end when people are going to fight for the crown to name the new king, which we don't know who that is going to really be.
Baku.
That's what they polluted as, but if that was going to be the case, they would have just made it that way right now, which they didn't. So
he is king right now, and because Shuri didn't want the crown. She was never for that.
He's fighting for it. If that was the case, they just would have just welcomed him. They would just welcome him into it.
No. She remember Shuri said she wasn't going to be here. Remember they were trying to make her to be the next queen. I'm like, nope, not me. I'm the Black Panther, but I ain't got to be king. And like I said, they're not synonymous with each other. Because like I said, because even Chadwick. Oh, I said Chadwick. I'm sorry. Even T'Challa's dad was king, but he was Black Panther at the time. The son was. So, but he wasn't king. That's the only difference. So you can do that.
We all know that. But my
No, you can. You can. It's been in the books too. Not just the movies, which I'm glad they actually were consistent with that shit. Because it's the truth. He had the herb and the power. He just didn't have the mantle of king yet. Until his father, because like I said, because his father was still
okay, and I'm not even talking about that. I'm still talking about, that title.
The title?
Yeah, he didn't have the title, and plus he's gonna fight for it because that's where he was literally at.
Yeah, but nobody was going to challenge him. That's what they said. No. That's what they said. Like, you're black. Okay.
Then that's stupid. Then that's just stupid.
The Jedi. Before
you all right, where we left off, you guys talk about the whole Corey Michelle video.
No. Where we left that after you said that because you got your point across. But I'm talking about Jedi Mike. So let me ask you a question: do you think M'Baku fought anybody after they made him king when no one ordered? Thank you. I just said that.
No.
Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Everybody was like, they're like, okay, this is.
You said it was stupid, but that's what they did.
Cool. And let's think about this. He has a point of refuge because like during the Namor attack, he was the place everyone went to.
Everybody went to. They went to the Jabari tribe.
When Namor attacked. So if anything, you basically were the people that were saving this nation in the time when we needed. Yes, we have Shuri being our protector. But you, as Lord of Jabari, the Jabari tribe, you basically help Wakanda in time of need. So when I looked at that, everyone was smiling. No one was like,
trying
to attack him or pretend. Like everyone's like, all right. And also with this movie, that this movie matured a lot of characters. Like everyone keeps saying, well, I can never see Shuri be Black Panther. This movie is like, no, you can see that. And even M'Baku, even in that scene, said it after
after he talked to her after her mother's
funeral. This is like, so am I just a child again? Like you said in the first movie, it's like the world has took too much from you for you to still be a child.
Be a child,
right? And again, M'Baku's not the same person, and like he was in the first movie, because even then he was not resorted back to, oh, we should kill the fish man. He's like, sure. He's like, wait, why you don't want to kill? That's not what your mother will want. And my brother, like your brother, wanted me to protect you. It was like again. But also with the influence of the child and everything, you become a changed man, which is why I'm like, if M'Baku was the leader of, or is now on the throne of Wakanda, I'm like, no, that makes sense because he matured. He matured as a leader.
That's why I said Chadwick did I keep saying Chadwick. Just shout out to my man, Bothman. But T'Challa, like I've said before, he put in a lot of work before Infinity War to make things right with Jabari tribe and with M'Baku. Otherwise, he wouldn't have joined them on that battlefield. Because remember, you never would have heard him say brother. He says, like, thank you for standing with us. He says, of course, brother. I'm here. I got you.
Yeah, plus the fact that said, like, that scene in the waterfall, he said, your people need you.
People need you.
It's like, so again, it's going back to what.
And I can't speak for past things.
That's why I'm like, a lot of decisions that was made here, I'm like, no, I can see it, and I'm okay with it. Even people like saying, oh, M'Baku should be Black Panther. I'm like, no, because he's his own character. He's his own character with that.
His own character in the book.
That makes absolute sense if he's actually, leader of Wakanda. That makes perfect sense.
Right.
I thought in this film, decisions they made, even then, a lot of things changed. Okoye got stripped from being general. She's not the general anymore, even after the queen has passed away. So she's on her own path, but still in a different character. Like, I think she'll begin her own series, possibly. Because they are making a Wakanda Disney Plus show, but we don't know what the main story
they are?
Be. Yeah, so that why Ryan Coogler been working on that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
But we don't know what we don't know what the show is. We just know that they're in the development of a Wakanda show. We don't know if it's of a character, whatever like that. But even then, Okoye, her character now, the fact that she's now a Midnight Angel, she has a pathway of even going to the Doctor Doom storyline. Because that whole squad, Midnight Angels, were connected to the Doom War storyline in the comics. So I feel like with that also be a good avenue for her to go to. But one thing I was very disappointed with, what's her name? The new actress that came in the movie.
Oh, you mean the one that was the lover to?
Yeah, she's a big actress.
She was there.
I was very disappointed. They wasted her. I was like, I just felt like just like, okay, all you guys some damn daggers and just like call it a day. You got one and you got a girlfriend. Cool, okay. I was like, all right. That action, everybody was excited for her to be in this movie. I'm like,
I didn't even know that.
But even then, I won't keep going back to the Courtney Michelle thing. I was watching this. I was like, no. And this is what I'm talking about. People want to switch up. That to me, like, I was like, I understand film is subjective.
It is.
But you cannot tell me, watching The Woman King and watching this, you say, "Oh, this was worse than The Woman King" and all stuff like that. I'm like,
The fuck?
no. I felt absolutely no type of feminism. They're trying to push a fucking agenda or all this stuff like that. Like, oh, the only female Black Panther can do this. Like, no.
They don't protect slavery trades and all that bullshit.
It was none of that at all. None of that at all. I felt none of that, and I was just like, I don't know, Wally, like you saw it, whatever. I don't know how you felt about it, but just like, but again, I was just, and then a YouTuber removed her video, and I was looking. I love Courtney, but I was like, come on,
Yeah,
now.
me too.
Like, no,
I can't agree with that personally.
No. And I was like, if she does a show about this, I'll get on the panel. Like, I think YouTube.
I'll get on too.
Why do you think wrong for showing your video? Like, yes, but you have an opinion, go ahead. But I don't think what she said in the video was like, oh, YouTube should pull it down. But I'm just like, for you to say it's like The Woman King and this, I'm like,
you can't compare the two. These movies are completely
because
different.
you want to talk about that fight.
And besides, a group of women protecting a slave trader that's slaying your people. No.
When you have part to play. No, listen. When you betray these
I
men,
tell people you can't compare the Dora Milaje to them.
like, no,
Dora Milaje are honorable.
You portrayed them as fucking super soldiers in that movie, and it's about real. And it's supposed to be real life. These folks are jumping off with spears and all stuff. Like, no, this is a comic movie, so all that stuff can happen. So when Namor was fighting her and all stuff, like, wait, how can she fight that big dude and all stuff? Like, nah, I thought the fight was brutal.
That was a brutal fight, by the way.
Now the only thing was like, hey. Yeah, you took a fucking spear to the chest. You know.
Well, no, okay. Like it wasn't in the chest. It was more like right here in the torso.
It was in the chest, like right in the gut, in the vital organs where there should be internal bleeding.
Or was it the stomach?
Death.
Because chest is right here, stomach is right here. Because I'm pretty sure it was the stomach, and she pulled away from that. Because it was actually her chest. It would have been up here. But I only saw it one time. But I'm thinking, remember, it didn't hit her chest. I think it was like her stomach or torso. And then I don't know if she moved it up when she moved because she had to slash it off. And yeah, but nah, man, I don't agree with anybody.
This is my thing with Namor too. Like, you're flying, he's flying. Like you could just go into the water and then hop back on the shore.
Well, the thing is, he was too damaged and dry. Oh, okay. Yo, Jack,
he was flying. He was fucking flying.
Like, no. I know he was. Listen, I'm not even excusing it because to me, freaking Aquaman should have got depowered in his own movie. Particularly, want to know why the hell that is? Because he's half Atlantic, similar to Namor physiology. The difference is you telling me this motherfucker be in a desert and not be dehydrated. That's why I was like, fuck that. Namor can get his weakness, but Aquaman scot free, right? That's what I was saying about. I'm like, fuck that. And not to mention the books, he's fireproof. This Namor, he's fireproof. No. They had to depower him. Of course, that's what said depowered. It's like, oh, I need to go in the water. No, that's Aquaman. That's not Namor. He doesn't need to. But, those are little nitpicks, but I don't care. They gave us a good Namor, so I'm not mad. Wally, just you got something off your chest you'd like to get off?
I was thinking with The Woman King too. I don't think it was.
Oh shit! I can't, Jenna. We can't speak no more about this because there's no comparison. You know it's not. You know it's not. Oh man! Come on, Wally. Before I turn Killmonger. I'm trolling with that though. I don't turn Killmonger.
I don't even know why I even try. Yeah.
Why are you trying? I'm being funny, but please come. Wally, stop. Go, bro. Go. You are welcome here. Go ahead. No. Because my thing was, because you said like it doesn't make sense when you said they,
And this is the whole point because you don't let people talk and finish the point first.
Finish your point. I won't cut you off.
Mother love.
I'm going to go.
I mean, literally, I swear to you. This motherfucking troll.
I just took care of the troll. He's done. He's done. Or
What was that said?
he. Or whoever
The only reason why I said that shit didn't make no freaking sense and no point whatsoever to add it into the movie was one clear conceptual point. One, they asked him last time, he rejected it. Two, which, well, I mean, honestly, it already made sense. Why? Because he's his own dude within his own realm, within his own people, so that's common sense. Two, the next other reason is it didn't make no sense to add that freaking last part is because I don't know, but am I the only one that noticed when they have a council meeting, he's the only other freaking warrior on there? Like, literally. I'm just being real. He's the only other warrior you know that fights on the battlefield. That's in the freaking courtroom. When they talk. Literally.
Wait, Jedi. Let him speak.
Go ahead. No. Go ahead, Jedi.
What's the disagreement?
Huh?
What are we arguing about then?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
You guys are saying that he was gonna be okay. Wait, pause. Here's my thing. I said there was no point for them to even mention the fact that he was going to be king to even show that point. Y'all said that he was going to be king regardless. He was going to be king regardless because those whatever the scenario. My thing is they didn't have to show that at all because it was going to be common sense then.
No, they should have done it because that would have been tradition.
It's tradition, but my thing is it would be tradition if someone actually fought him. But there was no one there to really fight him. There was no one there to challenge the man.
In the first movie, they would have done the same thing if Jabari did not show up.
Yeah.
He said that, all right.
No one's going to challenge the Charlie. He's king already.
The Water Tribe will not challenge today. The Water Tribe
A
will
waste
not
of
challenge today.
space. A waste of space. A waste of space.
So what did he do? He's like,
yes.
Hey, I'm here.
Fuck it. I don't give a frick what no one say. It was a waste for me.
Why is it? Wait. Why is
he was the only one capable of taking the role. No one else of that whole freaking. When you look at that whole meeting, he was the only other warrior on that whole meeting. No one else was there. He was going to challenge his ass. I don't want to hear that shit. No one else was going to challenge his ass. Period. It was pointless.
Hey, no, that's not true. That's not true because each of the council members, like in the first movie, they all have warriors to present to like, hey, we want to challenge the throne. So here's our fight.
And where were most of these warriors in these movies most of the time?
What, they're talking about the Border Tribe?
Border Tribe, Merchant
Water Tribe.
I'm talking about they top.
Top?
All right. You know, I'm gonna let this. I'm gonna let it.
I don't know if they had any top dogs, but they did have warriors. So let's.
Yeah,
they have soldiers. Of course, they have soldiers. That's common sense. But my thing is, as far as to challenge him at his pinnacle, no, they did not have no one at his pinnacle.
Of course, he's been in more fights.
Which is why it was pointless. You know what?
You don't know what? Oh, okay. You're saying the exposition was dumb, is what you're saying, correct? I'm making sure. Listen, I'm trying to hear your point, brother.
All I'm saying is there was no one going to be able to challenge this man. It was pointless to even show that up.
Okay, so you're saying that they should have just skipped it out, exited out, and not.
But they could have just easily said, okay, you know what? In the next movie, hey, look, it was told and showed that he was the next king. No one didn't challenge him. Yin Yang Yo, Shebang Bang Bo. They didn't really have to add that part.
It was.
I mean, don't get me wrong. It was nice. It was cultural.
Fake.
Granted,
it was fake because the fact that Black Panther, and knowing her, she's not.
Okay, I'm saying Wally.
Different shit. I'm going to Haiti. So when everyone was expecting Shuri to show up, it's like, sorry, she's in her regards, but I'm here to challenge for the throne.
She didn't want it.
She didn't want it.
That was never her. It was never her. Like, I know you're not arguing that, but we're saying like the reason why that is because if no one's there to challenge her or whatever, or he shows up, it's like, well, he's the only other candidate we got. Nobody else is just going to be the king after that.
Because like even then, at the end of the movie, the AI refers to her as Panther. They didn't refer to her as Queen.
That's true. Fortunately.
So yeah, even she's not like Queen. I mean,
who was not gonna get a shirt versus a bucker? That shit was not gonna happen, yo. After all this shit they did,
I
knew we was never gonna get that. They did. That'd have been
small fair part. I'll give you on that. Small fair.
You mean that would have been forced if they did that? Then I would have called that shit out. I'm like, nah, I wouldn't have. Like.
Again, to my point, Wally, did you watch the Courtney Michelle video?
Oh shit. Okay. All right, y'all. Listen.
But my thing is this: I didn't even look, Jedi. I didn't even have to watch it because my point is this: the fact that you can just look at the title And then you can think about. I looked at that, and I noticed around the way a lot of other people were talking about it. I'm thinking to myself like, y'all on this bullshit. I ain't trying to hear none of y'all because I already know where that shit going at. No, I ain't want to hear that. I already know where that was going. It was bullcrap. But personally, like I said, that's just a small part for me. But other than that,
in 26, so we'll be all right.
I think the only last thing I would have to sit here and mention is the simple fact that
you like chicken.
No.
You don't? Okay. I got you. Yo, Marcus, you did? Wow. Go ahead. Also, so what are you?
No.
My name is Prince T'Challa, son of King T'Challa.
Exactly. I love that, man.
Who are you?
Exactly. Who are you? Oh man, I'm sorry, man. I can't wait for that. I can't wait for that kid to be. Actually, we might get Storm with him. I'd be good. So it's still hope. I ain't say, hey, listen, Jedi, don't get it twisted. You gotta grow up. That's what you know what it is. You know what it is. I didn't say baby Oro, and I did. No, I didn't say that. So you might actually get the intelligent T'Challa in this one. So I'm cool with that. T'Challa the second. But well, come on, Wally. What you were gonna say? You said another point you were gonna say. Because I want you to get your base.
I mean, the only other small point that I didn't like, and it's just the simple fact that I mean, don't get me wrong. The only problem with my point is I also have accounted for it. It's just the simple fact that when she came back from the freaking realm of it all, and she punched the damn freaking body armor, I'm like, it irks cringe, but it's like at the same time, it's like, okay, technically I understand why though, because let's be honest. You go to someone of a bloodline, talk to them. Next thing you know, you walking out there with freaking abilities beyond your imagination. So I look at that more as a transfer, but that's basically it.
Okay.
Because basically, you know how like the Kamen Rider ish goes when the master transfer that whole deck cards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, that's how I looked at it.
Yeah, that's one of the abilities he has. Yep. And Jedi, you should check out that series. It might be good for you.
What series?
Kamen Rider Dragon Knight series. You should check that out.
Oh.
We did a whole review of that. That's something you might actually like. Actually. Marcus,
Captain Johnson, General Generates.
Yo, Marcus, closing arguments, and actually grade. Closing argument / grade. Marcus, where are you?
Oh, my bad, bro. I dropped down. I'm here.
So closing arguments and your grade for the movie.
I give the movie a solid B. You know.
B minus, B plus, what? Just a B? In the
Yeah,
middle?
I'm just give it a B. Yeah.
Okay, so it's in the middle. Got you.
Yeah. I'm still, like I said, this is the end of Phase 4. We got the TV shows that do the continuity, but we also have the movies that finish the Phase 4, and thus commences Phase 5, which means we get at the end of it Avengers, Quantumania. We get Kang Dynasty and
Blade,
Deadpool,
baby, finally.
Blade, Deadpool 3, which I think will be. I think it was released to be in 2024.
And not fan 4 stick, but Fantastic Four done right, hopefully.
Yeah.
Just give me John Krasinski like from freaking Doctor Strange 2. I don't give a fuck what it says. Get him with the beard, we all good.
We also have Deadpool. Daredevil Born Again coming up in the new year, I think. And we also have What If Season 2, Loki Season 2 coming up, and and also I heard more news about Spider-Man 4 with Tobey Maguire wanting to be made and confirmed, and then also Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. So that'll be interesting in itself.
Tom Holland's back for Spider-Man 4, so we're good.
Yeah, Spider-Man 4 with
hope he's in college at this time, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, Tom Holland and Venom, and which I do think Marvel had a cartoon with Spider-Man and Venom recently, not that long ago, and also maybe like a World War Hulk or a Rage After the Planet Hulk, because I know that Thor 3 did kind of copy a little concept from Planet Hulk and put it in there when he was on Sakaar. But other than that, I also got to understand there's something that's still questions that need to be answered, specifically after Doctor Strange or after when it came to She-Hulk, when Abomination goes with Wong in that portal, and then also we're also getting the show of the Marvels, Miss Marvel and Miss Rambeau, Monica Rambeau, and then Kamala
I'm looking
Khan.
forward to that one. I need to, and the reason why is because we're getting Spectrum and Miss Marvel, because those two characters, I think I'm gonna like.
Also,
freaking Cara Danvers, aka Brie Larson, aka the Put Down. If she can be a good actor and you actually not give her, and then make her be dull, and actually make her funny, and make her likable, I'll change my mind.
We also got to remember too.
I mean, you got a lot of work to do on that for me.
Yeah, we also got to remember Secret Invasion is also coming soon. Also,
shit. Yep.
Secret Invasion is coming, and then obviously Captain America, New World Order.
New World Order. We talked about this yesterday too, by the way. What Wally all me and talked about.
Yep. Which y'all should catch. Y'all make sure to catch the replay on that stream from yesterday.
Wasn't the greatest, and I do apologize, guys. Like I said, I was tired from that, but I think like halfway in because of circumstances. But I'm up to that.
Would have been more better if we had some preparation.
Yeah, true. That's my fault.
Yeah, Wally, that POS laptop you got and that shitty ass Wi-Fi.
That's actually.
I know you ain't talking because you couldn't even share your damn self.
Guys, this is another day in paradise with us 3 or 4 right now. But
no, you ain't talking.
But Wally, yeah, it is. Wally, closing
laptop is caca.
Marcus, stop.
Same for you, mofo.
Wale. Closing arguments and your grade. What is your grade for this movie?
Closing arguments.
Closing arguments is that you want Namor's powers. You got it.
No. Closing arguments.
Yes, you do.
This goes to show you, when it comes to speaking on your point, you can't even get a damn word out. That's the first thing.
And if you do, it's a long ass storybook.
I love Mark.
He ain't talking. I know he ain't talking. I know he ain't talking.
I mean, listen. It's the bromance between you two, which is hilarious because you guys are freaking hilarious. They're a comedic duo at this point. Like I'm used to it now.
Yeah. And with that other thing said, as far as Black Panther movie, it did show a small part in showing the quote unquote the new head boss of the Secret Order, or the of that which goes into the whole Thunderbolt saga, because of the whole fact of showing the new director of the whole thing, which is a small part, but whatever. Other than that, let's see here. What else is there? There was something else I was thinking about, but I had a good.
Come on. What are you thinking about? Dun, 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 dun.
Right. So, since technically T'Challa has a son, right? And we all know that this was not by Storm. I just find this a little interesting because that only tells me that Storm has a different T'Challa or a different Black Panther she's married to. So I find that interesting. But nonetheless. But other than that, my grade, I give this an 8 out of 10.
Okay. We're all okay. Consensus. Marcus, you said B, that's an 8. Wally said it, B, and I said 8. Jedi Mike, are you there with us, brother? Yeah, damn, he came back. Shit, the Flash. All right. So Jedi Mike, brother. Closing arguments and what is your grade for this movie?
Well, hold on. To be fair though, I did say I gave it a 7.5 in the
You
beginning.
did, but you said a B, and B is
Well, I mean, when it comes to letter, I guess I'll give it a B minus if that's the case. B
okay.
minus.
B minus, then that's like 84, 80 below. I got you.
No, 84 is a B solid. It's around a B solid. A B minus is 80.
It's like a 82, 81.
No, hold on, wait.
It's in that price range.
The fuck? I thought it's 80. No, 80, I think a B plus was anything 85 and up.
87 and up is B plus.
So 85. No, B plus is 85 and up. And
Okay, then I'll get on that. Yeah.
85 and up. That's what it is.
87 and above is B plus. 87.
Man.
No.
All right, semantics.
Yes, sir.
Actually, wait. Pause. A solid B would actually be 85. A B plus would be 86 and up. So.
You are such a fool.
All right.
Likewise.
All right. Yeah. I'm both of y'all. Fuck you semantics right now. But I'll let y'all too. Oh my goodness. Really true. Yo, Jedi. So Jedi, closing arguments, and what is your grade? That's my boy. He's like.
But I'll say like I said, I was pleased with the movie. At the end of the day, Marvel Phase 4 sucked. I'll recap that at the end of the year. I'll recap that at the end of the year. I thought Phase 4 has been a disappointment, but we ended on a good note. But make sure you tune in February to watch Ant-Man Quantumania starring Jonathan Majors.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
more 3-3 than I am in the Quantumania. I'm being dead ass honest, bro. You have to bring his A game. But it's not his fault. It's because of what they put him in. Put him in the Ant-Man.
But my point is, I'm saying again to the film, so it was good, but rating, I give it probably an 8.8 now. 8 out of 10.
8. Gotcha.
Yes.
Damn, we're on a consensus on the 8. I say 8.8, but that's 8 plus. Thank you, Jedi Mike. And with that, guys, like I said, we're gonna end this video and we're gonna be backstage just chilling a little bit. And let us know, what our thoughts. Like I said, let us know your thoughts on this particular stream. Did you enjoy it? Put a like and a comment down below. If you didn't, explain why, or don't ever come back. I'm kidding. I can take criticism from anything. I'm not beyond being critiqued. But all in all, guys, like I said, this has been overall our talk on the Black Panther movie, aka Wakanda Forever. And like I said, shout out to my man Chadwick Boseman, Wakanda Forever, baby. That's our king. And shouts out, like I said, shout out to the to my man Namor, the actor that played him. Like I said, it's so hard to pronounce his name, so I do apologize because I'm bad with names sometimes. But like I said, wonderful film. I'm gonna see it again next week, and you know how we do it here, y'all. All perspectives, all takes. Like I said, they matter here, and like I said, they will be heard here. And with that, like I said, you guys have a great night. Drink some tea, and read a really nice book. That's what I'm gonna leave off of with you guys. And Wakanda Forever. Peace out.
don't want to hear you say that.